The air was thick with the scent of jasmine and marigolds. Laughter echoed through the courtyard, a melody of joy and celebration. It was Maya's wedding day, a day every girl dreams of. Her silk sari, a vibrant red, shimmered under the golden sun. Intricate henna patterns adorned her hands, each swirl a whisper of ancient blessings. Maya, however, felt a knot of unease in her stomach, a discordant note in the joyous symphony. Her eyes, reflecting the turmoil within, darted toward the towering gates of her home. They seemed less like an entrance to a new life and more like bars holding her captive. As the priest chanted sacred verses, Maya's mind raced. She thought of her grandmother's stories, tales of bravery and sacrifice. Her ancestors, she knew, were warriors, protectors of their land. A fire, dormant for generations, flickered within her. With a deep breath, Maya made a decision that would change her life forever. She would honor her heritage, not just in the rituals and traditions, but in action, in service to her nation. Her wedding day would not be a farewell to her dreams, but a prelude to a different kind of destiny. The weight of her decision pressed upon Maya. How could she reconcile the expectations of a bride with the call of duty? The conflict raged within her, a silent storm threatening to break. The delicate gold bangles on her wrists, gifts from her soon-to-be husband, felt heavy, symbolic of the life she was expected to lead. Images flashed before her eyes, the warmth of her family home, the loving embrace of her parents, the anticipation in the eyes of her betrothed. To choose duty was to choose sacrifice, to trade the comfort of the familiar for an uncertain future. But Maya knew she couldn't ignore the call. The news from the border was grim, filled with stories of soldiers fighting valiantly against overwhelming odds. She thought of the young men, their lives cut short, their families left to mourn. A deep sense of responsibility settled upon her, a need to protect her homeland, her people. The decision, though agonizing, brought a strange sense of clarity. It was as if she had found her true north, a purpose that transcended societal expectations. Her heart, though heavy, beat with newfound determination. News of Maya's decision spread like wildfire, leaving a trail of astonishment and disbelief. At first, there was silence, a collective gasp of shock. Then the whispers began, swirling around her like a whirlwind. "Have you heard about Ashok's bride?" they murmured, their voices a mix of awe and disapproval. "She's chosen the battlefield over the marital bed." Some saw it as an act of rebellion, a blatant disregard for tradition. Others questioned her sanity, whispering about the dangers that awaited her. A woman, in the heart of a war zone. Her family, torn between pride and fear, struggled to come to terms with her choice. Her mother, her eyes filled with worry, pleaded with her to reconsider. "Your place is here, with your husband, raising a family," she implored. "War is a man's world, fraught with danger and hardship." But Maya stood firm, her voice unwavering. "My place is where my duty calls," she declared, her eyes blazing with conviction. "I am my ancestors' daughter, and I will not shy away from protecting my land." The weight of centuries of tradition bore down on Maya. Society, with its rigid expectations of what it meant to be a woman, seemed determined to hold her back. She was expected to be the dutiful wife, the nurturing mother, her life confined within the four walls of her home. Even some women, bound by the same societal norms, questioned her choice. "Why would you throw away your life like this?" they asked, their voices laced with concern. "Your duty is to your family, to your husband." They spoke of the sacrifices they had made, the dreams they had buried to fulfill their roles as wives and mothers. But Maya refused to be defined by these limitations. She saw the strength in these women, the resilience they displayed in their everyday lives. She knew that their words stemmed not from judgment, but from a place of love and concern. They too were products of a society that had confined them, clipped their wings, and told them to be content within their gilded cages. Maya's decision was a challenge to these very norms, a refusal to be bound by the expectations of a patriarchal society. She would carve her own path, forge her own destiny, and in doing so, inspire others to break free from the shackles of tradition. Leaving behind the colorful chaos of her wedding preparations, Maya stepped into a world of camouflage and combat boots. The air, thick with the smell of gunpowder and sweat, replaced the fragrance of jasmine and sandalwood. The transition wasn't easy. The training was grueling, pushing her to her physical and mental limits. Each day began before dawn and ended long after the sun had set. She learned to handle weapons, her hands, once adorned with henna, now calloused and strong. Amidst the rigorous drills and demanding instructors, Maya found camaraderie. Her fellow soldiers, initially surprised by her presence, came to respect her determination and grit. They trained together, ate together, shared stories of their families and their fears. With each passing day, Maya felt her resolve solidify. The fear that had once gnawed at her was replaced by a steely determination. She was no longer the timid bride but a soldier, ready to defend her nation, to honor her heritage with every fiber of her being. The battlefield was a maelstrom of noise and chaos. The air crackled with tension, punctuated by the deafening roar of artillery fire. The ground beneath her feet trembled, a constant reminder of the fragility of life in this desolate landscape. Maya, her face grim, her eyes hardened by the realities of war, fought with the ferocity of a tigress protecting her cubs. Fear, ever present, was pushed aside by the need to survive, to protect her comrades, to fulfill the oath she had sworn. In the crucible of combat, she witnessed the best and worst of humanity. She saw acts of extraordinary courage, soldiers putting their lives on the line for their comrades, their selflessness a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. But she also witnessed the brutal reality of war, the devastating toll it took on both the victors and the vanquished. She saw the light fade from the eyes of young soldiers, their dreams cut short, their bodies forever scarred by the horrors they had witnessed. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Maya, hardened by the realities of war, carried on, her spirit unbroken. She had proven her mettle, earning the respect of her comrades and superiors alike. One evening, amidst the ruins of a bombed-out village, she found a small leather-bound book. It was a diary, filled with the hopes and dreams of a young woman, her words a poignant reminder of the lives shattered by the conflict. As Maya read those words, a promise formed in her heart. She would fight not just for her country, but for a future where such diaries wouldn't be found amidst rubble, where dreams wouldn't be cut short by the ravages of war. The war, though physically distant, had irrevocably reshaped Maya. The innocent young bride who had once stood at the cusp of a traditional life was gone, replaced by a woman of strength, resilience, and unwavering courage. The war finally ended, leaving behind a trail of destruction and heartache. Maya, carrying the weight of her experiences, returned home, a changed woman. The village, once buzzing with her wedding preparations, now bore the scars of conflict. The air, once filled with the laughter of children, was heavy with the silence of loss. Yet amidst the devastation, there was a glimmer of hope, a yearning for a new beginning. Maya's return was met with mixed emotions. Some, bound by tradition, still struggled to comprehend her choice. Others, their hearts touched by her sacrifice, welcomed her with open arms, their eyes filled with newfound respect. She had returned not as the bride they had expected, but as a symbol of courage and resilience, a testament to the indomitable spirit of women. Her story, whispered from one household to another, became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could triumph. Life after the war was a tapestry woven with threads of sorrow and hope. Maya, haunted by the memories of the battlefield, dedicated herself to rebuilding her community, to healing the wounds of war. She used her experiences to empower other women, encouraging them to break free from societal constraints and pursue their dreams. She became a voice for the voiceless, a champion for those who had been marginalized and forgotten. The young bride who had once traded her wedding finery for combat boots had found her true calling. She had not only served her nation on the battlefield, but had also become a catalyst for change, a symbol of a new India, where women were not afraid to shatter glass ceilings and redefine their roles in society. As the sun rose each morning, casting its golden rays over the land, Maya looked to the future with hope. The war had taken much, but it had also given birth to a new spirit, a spirit of unity, resilience, and unwavering courage. And Maya, the warrior bride, stood at the forefront of this new dawn, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.